Government buildings and public facilities on fire in the remote highlands city of Wamena. Huge plumes of black smoke rise up from the city, where hordes of high school students had taken to the streets in protest at an alleged racist slur from a teacher. The Jakarta Globe reports up to 16 people died after being trapped in burning buildings set alight by rioters. There's reports hundreds of students gathered at Cendrawasih University Auditorium, which had been serving as a temporary shelter for students fleeing cities across the country as a result of racial abuse. Police and military personnel besieged the university and a violent struggle ensued. There's reports some students turned violent against the authorities. Firearms were used to disperse the crowd. Veronica Coman, who provided images of the burning buildings, says students were running around the streets to avoid getting shot. She fled to a nearby church, while others took shelter at the police headquarters. The violence is not the first time students have been shot by authorities in Papua, where calls for independence have been met with violent backlash from police and military. Yoab Siatle is an independence campaigner and says he's just returned from the United Nations in New York, where he was lobbying for it to recognise West Papua's efforts towards self-determination.
We want that United Nations has to grant West Papua membership or to put West Papua back to the agenda this year.
He says the people of West Papua have already voted for their own independent government in 2011, but Indonesia treated that as treason and arrested the elected leader.
100% we control West Papua throughout the entire land of West Papua. So we are state, we are not organization.
The unrest has forced Wamena Airport to halt its operations. It typically sees 120 flights a day. Late last week, the Indonesian military reported 3 civilians, including a 3-year-old boy, died in a shootout with rebels in West Papua. The police and the West Papua government have again blamed the separatist groups for stirring the violence and encouraging the rebels, while the military is accused of human rights abuses in the province. For Checkpoint, Alex Perrottet.